I'm the 18th generation ancestor of Xiao Zhang Qilin. Yet the moment we met, he attacked his own ancestor. I had only been in charge for a few years when the clan leader was snatched away by a corpse to work. By the time I finally made it back, the Zhang clan had fallen. After 3 years of travel, I finally found a little Qilin cub, only to discover he was a poor, amnesiac soul. After I pinned Zhang Qilin to the ground, I just wanted to verify his identity. I leaned down, my nose brushing against his neck, carefully identifying the scent of Qilin blood on him, just like a mother cat who hasn't seen her cub in ages. She'd always pick him up and groom him all over. I checked if he was truly my own cub. Years of experience in raising children made me familiar with the scent of every Qilin. Judging by the concentration, this child's bloodline is around 60%. He's likely from the golden Qilin lineage. Unlike the black Qilin, who suppresses evil, the golden Qilin lineage focuses on governing techniques. There are also the jade Qilins of the Wu family. The three together form the Qilin. The heat on his neck startled the Zhang clan member. Zhang Qiling's expression shifted, and he turned his face away from me. I suddenly recalled what Black Glasses once teased him with. Mute, you'd better keep your hood on. Don't show your face. Some perverts out there really lie someone as fair as you. The more he thought about it, the worse it felt. Zhang Qiling's hair stood on end, and he suddenly began to struggle, trying to use bone shrinking arts to escape. But I had anticipated his moves. The more he shrank, the harder I pressed down, giving him no chance to retaliate. This little cub clearly still holds hostility toward me. I know very well. Zhang children are most rebellious between 50 and 100. Looking at Qilin, he's just over 100, right in his most active phase. If I let go before explaining things, there's no telling how he might act out. I released the pressure of my Qilin blood, awakening the dormant bloodline within Zhang Qilin. The struggling Zhang Qilin suddenly felt his blood flow accelerate. A wave of warmth began to circulate through his body, and his Qilin tattoo manifested on its own. You really are a Zhang. Zhang Qiling's voice carried a chill, along with lingering doubt. His suspicion made my face darken instantly. After fighting for so long, you still don't recognize my style? The eyesight of this generation is truly lacking. Actually, it wasn't that he didn't recognize the style. He was simply suspicious of this person. Child, don't be afraid, relax. I reached out and patted his head, speaking in a comforting tone. My name is Zhang Mayu, a former clan leader of the Zhangs. By seniority, I should be your ancestor. But my tenure was 2,000 years ago, and I left the clan due to an accident. So much time has passed. The leadership must have changed many times. Though I don't know who the current leader is, I certainly stepped down long ago. Just call me old ancestor for now. Feeling his muscles relax, I eased my grip, and finally let him go. We both stood up from the ground. Zhang Qilin brushed the dirt off his clothes, though he believed about half of what I said. His eyes still held a hint of caution. My situation was a bit special. You're the first clansman I've found since returning. It's fine if you don't believe me yet. We'll get to know each other in time. I would never harm you. Zhang Qilin didn't say whether he believed me or not. He went to pick up his black gold ancient sword, and sat under a sparse tree, wiping the blade in the moonlight. I didn't expect him to be so sullen. I sat down beside him, and pulled a full thermos from my Qilin bracelet. The sudden appearance of the thermos immediately caught his attention. A mustard seed space, a world within a sleeve. Zhang Qilin stared at the hand wearing my Qilin bracelet, but he didn't ask about it. After all, such things are clearly secrets. Showing him this ability was already a sign of trust. There was no need to pry, lest it damage our fragile connection. I unscrewed the thermos, and a fresh, pleasant herbal scent wafted through the air. I took a sip myself, then handed the thermos to Zhang Qilin. This is some herbal tea I brewed earlier, a recipe for nourishing the spirit and energy. Drink some, it'll be good for your body. You have quite a few minor ailments. Next time, I'll pick some specific herbs for you. Zhang Qilin wasn't used to such warm concern. He took the thermos, sniffed it first, didn't smell anything strange, and since I had tasted it first, it was likely safe. He took a sip. It was light and fragrant, a sweet, refreshing taste typical of the Zhangs. A glimmer of light flashed in his eyes. Though he didn't know the effect yet, he thought it tasted quite good. At least it was better than the bitter brews Black Glasses made. As Zhang Qilin sipped from the thermos, I took out a packet of flatbreads wrapped in oil paper, unwrapped it, and placed it by his side. There were only 5, each about the size of a palm. I made these myself, to carry as dry rations. They're made using a unique Zhang method, containing processed meat and grains ground with special herbs. They're quite dense. This method provides all the necessary nutrients, and they stay fresh for a month. 2 or 3 are enough for a whole day's energy. It was a mandatory skill for all Zhangs. After fighting for so long, I wanted to look after him, fearing he might go hungry at night, so I brought them out. Want to eat something? Zhang Qilin lowered his eyes, saying nothing, but his hand reached out for the bread. As he took a bite, the familiar taste triggered scattered, disconnected memory fragments, memories of training in the clan's dissolution, and during his harsh training, elders sneaking him candied fruits. Zhang Qiling's hand paused, his eyes filled with a sense of loss and defeat, and he kept stuffing the bread into his mouth. Don't eat so fast, you'll choke. Seeing him lie this, I assumed he'd been living a hard, hungry life, even though in his time, clansmen had a 10-year wild period after turning 100, where no one was allowed to help, given the training they'd received. No one ever struggled that much. Seeing such a pitiful little cub now, while worrying about the current clan education, I couldn't help but feel a surge of pity. What is your name? Do you know what happened to the Zhangs? I had wandered for 2 years, finding clues by chance, until I found Zhang Qilin. Regarding the current state of the Zhangs, I had some vague guesses. I found that the clan's presence was near zero, and there were no contact points in major cities. This could only mean one of 2 things. Either the population was thin, with only a few left, which is easy to explain. The danger of exorcising evil is unpredictable, and mistakes lead to casualties. Also, the clansmen are indifferent. Fertility is low as spiritual energy fades. The Qilin bloodline sleeps, and lifespans shorten, leading to a lack of successors. The other possibility is a major catastrophe, leading to the clan's destruction, or a sharp decline in bloodline concentration, fading into the crowd over generations. There are many reasons for this. Enemies targeting their bloodline, uncontrollable supernatural disasters, or secret arts from other bloodline holders, or internal and external strikes against the clan. But asking Zhang Mayu was useless. Zhang Qilin, having lost his memory, didn't know either. He could only catch glimpses from fleeting fragments. Zhang Qilin answered simply, then stared at the withered leaves in the moonlight, his gaze distant, his thoughts drifting away while he kept chewing the food. Zhang Mayu, who had only been back for 2 years, wasn't optimistic about the clan, let alone Zhang Qilin, who had been alone on the road to finding his memories. He had already prepared for the worst. Meeting Zhang Mayu this time was already beyond his expectations. He had originally prepared himself for the possibility that this was a trap. Even if it were a trap, he thought his enemies might know his past or have information about other clansmen. To get that information, getting hurt would be worth it. Though from the clues he'd found, he had lost his memory more than once, and each time he had to start over. Zhang Qilin often felt lost, but he never stopped moving, because deep in his memory, a voice told him he still had important tasks to complete, and he had to take care of his clansmen. You are the current Zhang clan leader. He remembered that before he took office, the old leader set a trap for the national master, Su Fu. From then on, until the trap was finished, future leaders would use the name Zhang Qilin. He was the second one. He didn't expect the name to last until now. Zhang Mayu wondered if the trap was still ongoing. But did even the leader have to lie so miserably? According to clan rules, the leader should have at least 6 guards, or 12 clansmen if the guards were lost. Unless the clan was wiped out, the leader would never be left alone. His bad premonition seemed to be reality. Zhang Mayu's heart sank, seeing the equally dejected Zhang Qilin. He wanted to comfort him, but couldn't find the words. Zhang Qilin, as if ignoring his hesitation, nodded gently, and continued in a flat tone. I've lost my memory. I'm looking for it too. It's okay. I'll be with you from now on. Zhang Mayu suppressed his sadness, offering a gentle smile, thinking he should change the subject. He couldn't keep talking about sad things. He sat closer, took Zhang Qilin's hand, the one he'd cut to bleed, and began to unwrap the bandages, wanting to apply better medicine. By the way, your anti-fighting skills are quite good. When I was leader, the children your age were full of energy, chased by the elders, but none hid as well as you. I spent 2 or 3 months following you, before I finally found you. Zhang Qilin responded dully, letting him rebandage the wound. What he didn't say was that in the years after losing his memory, he was often hunted by people in masks. Black glasses had taken him into hiding, saying he had saved him from those people. After much hardship, after saving him, he'd raised him for a long time, until he looked like a person again. Although Black Glasses' intention was just to get his future earnings, Zhang Qilin understood that falling into those people's hands would have meant a terrible end. So he had focused on hiding his tracks, and since then no one had been able to follow him. You seem to have come with others. Are you in trouble? Do you need my help? It seemed their dawn hadn't been reached yet. Seeing him lose so much blood, Zhang Mayu was worried. No, though they were now related. Zhang Qilin didn't fully trust him yet. Zhang Mayu respected his refusal. They sat in silence. Zhang Mayu finished applying the medicine, rebandaged it carefully, and tucked the rest of the ointment into Zhang Qilin's pocket. Having finished the 3rd piece of bread, feeling a bit full, Zhang Qilin stiffened slightly when he reached over, but didn't take the medicine out. Seeing he had nothing else to say, he stood up to leave. Wait, take these 2 remaining pieces. They last a long time. Eat them when you're hungry. Zhang Mayu wrapped the remaining bread and placed it in Zhang Qilin's hand. This special Zhang ration was very filling and kept hunger at bay. Seeing Zhang Qilin eat 3 pieces after dinner, he thought he was a big eater, so he wanted him to have the rest in case he was hungry in the morning. Zhang Qilin took the bread, looking at the neatly folded packaging, and fell into deep thought. He seemed to have left a strange impression on this person. Zhang Qilin stepped into the night, returning to his residence, pushed the window open lightly, and sprawled out and taking up the whole space. Zhang Qilin stood still for a moment, letting the cold air from outside dissipate, then stood by the bed, straightened Wu Xie's body, crossed his hands over his stomach, picked up the blanket from the floor, and covered him. Looking at the neat, peaceful-looking Wu Xie, Zhang Qilin nodded with satisfaction, then lay down in the same posture, covering himself with the quilt. A few seconds after lying down, Zhang Qilin sat up again, looking bewildered, and pressed his hand against his stomach. He felt a bit too full. He had never been this full before, so he hesitated to draw a conclusion. Only then did he realize that the Zhang rations were probably like compressed biscuits. After sitting for a while, feeling better, Zhang Qilin lay back down, closing his eyes to rest. Just as he was drifting off, a shadow appeared outside the window, followed by a light tapping. Zhang Qilin opened his eyes, felt the familiar presence, relaxed, and got up to open the window. Sure enough, it was Zhang Mayu, carrying a common white plastic bag. Through the translucent plastic, in the moonlight, one could see half a bag of green dates. I saw a date tree to the south on my way here. They're just right for eating now, so I picked some for you as a late-night snack. His act of bringing fruit in the middle of the night made Zhang Qilin silent, but he took the bag and thanked him politely. Suddenly remembering they had taken both rooms in the hostel, he wondered where Zhang Mayu was staying, so he asked, "Where are you staying?" Seeming puzzled by the question, Zhang Mayu looked at him, then realized something, a light smile playing on his lips. He answered naturally, "I'll find a tree nearby that looks decent and rest there for the night. Don't worry, I won't be far. Just whistle, and I'll appear. I'll keep watch. You can sleep soundly." Zhang Qilin knew he had misunderstood and bit his lip unnaturally, saying softly, "It's cold outside." He actually meant that if he had nowhere to stay, he could rest here for the night. "It's fine, don't worry about me. The Zhangs don't fear cold or heat. The Qilin blood super constitution lets us ignore most environmental difficulties." Zhang Mayu saw Zhang Qilin standing there, frowning, looking like he had more to say, and thought he was feeling unwell. He scanned him twice, and with his years of medical experience, reached a conclusion. He asked hesitantly, "Is your stomach uncomfortable from eating too much?" As soon as he spoke, Zhang Mayu saw Zhang Qilin's expression stiffen, clearly having hit the mark. "No, go rest." Zhang Qilin quickly denied it, almost refusing 3 times in a row. Seeing Zhang Moyu still wanting to say something, Zhang Qilin pretended not to notice, closed the window, and went to bed. Zhang Moyu looked at the closed window, knowing the child was proud and shy because he'd been exposed. He couldn't help but chuckle, whispering to himself, "What a cute child." Zhang Qilin, with his keen hearing, opened his eyes suddenly, feeling his ears burning hot. He closed his eyes and turned over, burying his face in the quilt, abandoning all dignity. On the other side, after Zhang Moyu left, he went to the local convenience store. Seeing the door locked and dark, he skillfully picked the lock and slipped inside. He found a bag of popcorn candies on the shelf, checked the price tag, took a 10 yuan note from his pocket, placed it on the counter, and drifted out with the candies. At Zhang Qilin's window, Zhang Moyu waited for a while. Seeing the window didn't open, he knew Zhang Qilin wasn't unaware of his presence, but was deliberately avoiding him. He sighed silently, used a bit of spiritual energy to unlock the latch from the inside, pushed it open a crack, placed the hawthorn candies on the table, closed the window again, and let the latch fall back into place. In the dark, the person on the bed tilted his head, noticed the person outside had left, and turned back without moving. 2 minutes later, a hand reached out to the table, took the candies, and the sound of crinkling packaging filled the room. The next morning, Zhang Qilin, having had a rare good sleep, woke up to find Wu Xia clinging to him, biting his hoodie's hood, mumbling occasionally, looking like he was eating something delicious in his dream. Zhang Qilin looked at him, his face darkening, the good mood from the night's sleep vanishing. He quickly rescued his hood from Wu Xia's mouth, his movements far from gentle. Seeing the wet patch on his hood, Zhang Qilin suddenly regretted why he had only thought about making do and not paying attention to quality of life, so he hadn't listened to black glasses and brought extra clothes. He found some paper, carefully wiped the saliva-soaked spot, and then shook Wu Xia awake. Wu Xia, sleeping soundly, felt someone shaking him hard, opened his eyes groggily, saw Zhang Qilin's expressionless face, and his sleepiness vanished. "Morning, Xiao Ji, you're up." He didn't know if it was his imagination, but he felt Xiao Ji's tone today was unusually unfriendly. Who had annoyed him so early in the morning? Wu Xia muttered to himself, checked his phone, saw it was only 5 o'clock, tossed the phone aside, buried his head back in the pillow, pulled the quilt up, shrank inside, and said lazily, "Xiao Ji, it's still early. Third uncle said we're leaving at 8. Let me sleep a bit more." Zhang Qilin watched him coldly, reached out and grabbed a corner of the quilt, tossed it to the corner of the bed, then opened the window. A cold morning breeze blew in. Wu Xia shivered, looked at Zhang Qilin with resentment, and seeing his serious face, he finally gave up. Zhang Qilin gave her a cold look. Zhang Moyu, former clan leader, Ancestor. Zhang Qilin, current clan leader, Xiao Guan. Wu Xia, companion, Xiao Ji to Qilin. Relationship, Moyu senior/protector to Qilin junior. Forms, Moyu calls Qilin Xiao 4/Xiao 1. Qilin calls Moyu old ancestor. Wu Xia calls Qilin Xiao Ji. No room for negotiation. I could only drag myself up, put on my coat and went to eat. It wasn't long after I woke up. Wu Sanqing was squatting by the door, brushing his teeth. He looked surprised to see me up so early. He mumbled through a mouthful of foam, "Nephew, why are you up so early today?" Xiao Ji got up early. He dragged me out of bed with him. I wanted to sleep in a bit longer, but Xiao Ji just ripped my blanket off. I couldn't help but yawn, covering my mouth as I spoke. My voice was still dragging. I looked like I hadn't woken up yet. "It's good to get up early. You should thank Xiao Ji for pulling you up. Otherwise, you'd definitely have overslept. If you had overslept, I wouldn't have waited for you." Wu Sanqing noticed I was a bit annoyed at Zhang Qilin. He made a passing comment, trying to take the chance to lecture me, to teach me the importance of being on time. I lazily replied, still feeling sleepy. I didn't want to argue with my third uncle over nothing, mainly because I just woke up. My brain was still a bit foggy. I probably couldn't win the argument anyway. Wu Sanqing saw my state. He knew I wasn't taking his words to heart. He sighed helplessly in his heart. He scolded me, frustrated by my lack of drive. "With your lazy attitude, you'd never get anything done on time." I looked at him listlessly, just as I was about to defend myself and snap back at him. Pansy suddenly interrupted us. "Third master, breakfast will be ready in a bit." "What were you and the young master talking about?" "I thought I heard something about not wanting to eat." "Nothing, you heard wrong." I quickly waved my hand to change the subject. Rumors spread way too fast. I was worried if we kept talking, I wouldn't be able to explain myself. My desperate attempt to avoid the topic made Pansy look a bit confused, but he wasn't tactless enough to push it. He just brought up something else instead. "By the way, little third master, I heard something interesting outside just now." As soon as Pansy said it was interesting, I felt a spark of curiosity. I rubbed my face to wake myself up and asked what the gossip was. Hopefully not some family drama. I'm not interested in rural romances. Thinking of the soap operas Grandma used to watch, I couldn't help but feel a headache coming on. "No, it's about that small sop at the village entrance. I heard the aunties there saying the sop was haunted last night." Unintentional words often catch the listener's attention. Pansy just thought it was a joke, but it made me and third uncle very serious. I immediately thought of the ghost in the building 2 years ago, and how I was saved by an expert later. My hand instinctively touched the jade pendant on my neck. Since then, I've been careful not to walk alone at night, or go to remote places that are taboo. Everything has been fine for 2 years. That expert said I have a constitution that attracts ghosts. Could it be that I'm about to run into one? I thought of the burnt talismans in the water cave, regretting my curiosity and impulsiveness back then. If only I had known better. The problem now is whether the next ghost will be strong. I don't know if this jade pendant can save my life this time. And being meticulous, third uncle didn't believe it was actually haunted. He always felt human interference was more likely. It's not that he's paranoid, but our current plan is just starting, and any accident could ruin everything. Any sign of trouble must be investigated carefully. Rumors lie hauntings. I hadn't heard a single thing about them before. The fact that it's haunted right after we arrived is obviously the work of outsiders. Our group is all our own people, and we know each other well. This definitely wasn't done by our people. I also recognize the foreigners who came in earlier. Those are Jude's people. Aining is leading them. That woman is very decisive. She's always been straightforward. She wouldn't waste time on such spooky tricks. So there must be a third party involved. Not sure if they are the fish we're trying to catch, or what they are trying to achieve with these tricks. Wu Sanqing pondered, while naturally finishing rinsing his mouth. He wiped his his mouth with a towel. Pansy continued sharing his gossip. I heard the shop owner lie every other morning. Went to open the shop before dawn. As soon as she opened it, she found 10 yuan on the counter, pressed down by the reading glasses on the counter. They said at the moment she opened the door, she saw a strange blue light flash on the glasses. It almost gave her a heart attack. The doors and windows were fine. No signs of anyone breaking in. Later, she checked the items in the shop and found something strange. We were listening intently, and Pansy held back a laugh. Putting on a mysterious face, he kept us in suspense. Wu Sanqing gave him a smack on the back of the head and urged him impatiently. Stop stalling. Just say it. After getting hit, Pansy honestly dropped the act and quickly finished the shittery. The owner found nothing else wrong in the shop. Just a bag of hawthorn candies missing. The candy cost 7 yuan. 10 yuan was left on the table. She actually made 3 yuan profit. That's it? Wu Sanqing twitched his mouth, not knowing what to say. I was also speechless. But then, as if remembering something, I suddenly put on a serious and terrified expression. Third uncle, I suddenly remembered. Late last night, when I was fast asleep, I felt like someone was walking around me, and I even smelled a very strong scent of hawthorn in my dream. I remember it very clearly, because the smell in my dream was so real. A sweet and sour hawthorn scent that seemed delicious. It made me hungrier and hungrier in my dream. I almost woke myself up from hunger. The reason I didn't wake up was because Xiao Ji saved me before I could. You're overthinking it. Wu Sanqing casually comforted me, but he couldn't help but suspect. I wouldn't lie about something like this. And he was sleeping with Zheng Qilin last night. Could it be that Zheng Qilin did it? What kind of habit is that? Getting up in the middle of the night to buy hawthorn candy. Third uncle, believe me, the more I thought about it, the more real it felt. Combined with my unique constitution, I felt like I was definitely being haunted, and the ghost might even lie hawthorn candy. There must be something unclean here. Third uncle, you have to believe me. Alright, I believe you. Go wash your face and brush your teeth. We'll leave after we eat. Wu Sanqing's tone was incredibly dismissive, urging me to go wash up. Sensing my third uncle's disbelief, I felt a lump in my chest. It was extremely uncomfortable, so I decided to go find Xiao Ji, who doesn't talk much, but is super strong when he fights. Someone that's strong must have noticed something. Seeing Zheng Qilin sitting on a stool by the door with his sword, his eyes fixed on the dining table, like he was quietly waiting for breakfast. I rushed over in a few steps, and sat on the stool next to him, telling him about my discovery mysteriously. Xiao Ji, I have bad news. There's a ghost in this village, with me suddenly appearing and chattering in his ear. Zheng Qilin snapped out of his daze. He processed what I just said. First, he blinked slowly. Then he turned to look at me. Although he felt the Yin energy in the village was heavy, he didn't seem to sense any evil presence. It's sparsely populated with poor road access. Behind the village is a deep forest. There are big trees on the mountain. It's normal for the Yin energy to be thicker here. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Really, Xiao Ji, don't doubt me. The ghost went to the shop last night to buy hawthorn candy, and in our room, it was eating candy and wandering around. It only went to our room, not third uncle's room. Maybe it targeted me as soon as I entered the village, planning to eat me after it finished the candy. I was just scaring myself. The more I talked, the more scared I got, so I moved my stool closer to the expert, Zheng Qilin. Only then did I feel a bit safer. When I mentioned the hawthorn candy, Zheng Qilin's hand holding the sword tightened slightly. He instantly remembered the half bag of hawthorn candy that he hadn't finished in his backpack. He felt a little bit guilty, but he didn't show any expression on his face. He just looked at me calmly. His eyes seemed a bit more sincere than usual. In my eyes, this meant he was listening to me very seriously. I couldn't help but sigh in my heart. This Xiao Ji usually looks like he doesn't want anyone near him. I didn't expect him to be such a gentle person. Seeing me so terrified because of this, Zheng Qilin rarely offered a word of comfort. Don't worry, there are no ghosts. I was skeptical of his comfort. I thought he was just making up a lie, because he was worried I was too scared. Really, it's okay, Xiao Ji, tell me the truth. I can take it. I'm really not lying to you. Perhaps due to a little bit of guilt, Zheng Qilin spoke more than he usually did, but I didn't notice anything. Then I'm relieved. I let out a long sigh of relief, patting my chest, comforting my little heart that had been terrified. I finally relaxed. We didn't wait long before breakfast was served. Although with money, the breakfast at the guest house was much better than in normal families, but breakfast in the village definitely wasn't as rich as outside. Clear porridge, steamed buns, and some homemade pickles, plus the 2 boiled eggs we got from Xiao Ji and me. This was the best hospitality they could offer, but none of us were picky eaters, except for donghua, who complained a bit that the anti-cooking was too biased based on looks. We enjoyed breakfast. After the meal, I took an extra bun, added some pickles, wrapped it in a plastic bag, and put it in my bag. Wu Sanqing watched my actions. He thought I was worried about not being able to eat in the mountains, or that some other accident might happen. Taking a bun to be prepared, he secretly praised me in his heart, as expected of someone who went to college. His brain is sharp. Little third master, why are you taking food with you? Donghua looked at my actions, feeling confused. I heard the little third master runs his own shop now. The revenue doesn't seem that great, but even if he's poor, he shouldn't be this petty. I blushed at Donghua words. I checked to make sure no outsiders were around. Then I spoke in a low voice. I just noticed Xiao Ji didn't eat much for breakfast. We're going up the mountain soon. The physical exertion will definitely be high. What if he gets hungry later? I noticed Zheng Qilin only ate 1 egg and half a bowl of porridge. No wonder he's so thin. How can an adult eat so little? He must have been caught off guard. Zheng Qilin turned to look at me. A warmth rose in his heart. But more than that, it was helplessness. He didn't eat so little on purpose. It's just that he ate too much last night, and the special rations take a long time to digest. He was still full until now. That half bowl of porridge and 1 egg was just to avoid them worrying and asking questions. He ate it because he didn't want the trouble. He can eat as much as he wants. He knows his own business. Why are you meddling? Wu Sanqing looked at me with a dark face, silently taking back the praise he had just given me, and mentally slapped himself. With my intelligence, he shouldn't have expected me to be prepared. He shouldn't have had any expectations for this silly dog. I didn't know why. Third uncle was just smiling a moment ago. Now his face had changed. I could only attribute it to his menopause. Mood swings are normal. Having said that, Wu Sanqing didn't make me put the bun back. Thinking of my habit of worrying about everything, maybe I could win some favor with Zheng Qilin, and maybe he'd protect me a bit more. It's still early. Xiao Shang, what do you think? Should we go up the mountain early, or wait until 8 at the village committee? Wu Sanqing squinted at the distant mountains, and turned to ask Zheng Qilin. He had originally thought I wouldn't be able to get up, and would drag them down, dragging his feet until 8 o'clock, when the sun was high. He didn't expect me to get up at the same time as him. Now everyone was ready. Maybe we could go in early. Zhang Qilin looked around at the distant mountains. His extraordinary eyesight allowed him to see the mist in the forest from halfway up the mountain all the way to the top. There was a large area of mist that hadn't cleared. It would probably take a while. Hearing there was mist on the mountain, Wu Sanqing immediately gave up the idea of going up now. He wasn't a novice. He knew that in such conditions, not only could you not see the road, but you might also run into something unclean. We're not in a rush. It's better to wait for the sun to rise and for the mist to clear before we go. We rested on the spot board. Zhang Qilin leaned against a tree as usual and started to daze off again. But this time he wasn't recalling his memories. He was thinking about how after he woke up this morning, he hadn't felt Zhang Moyu's Qilin aura. He didn't know where he had run off to. He clearly promised to watch over him. Zhang Qilin lowered his eyes slightly. A feeling of unhappiness suddenly welled up. At a villager's house relatively far away, Zhang Moyu couldn't help it and suddenly sneezed. The pastry he was eating almost lost its shape. The old woman next to him, learning to make pastries, looked at him happily, asking with some concern, "Young man, did you catch a cold? The wind in the mountains is strong. You're wearing so little while traveling." "I have 2 coats in my room. Do you want me to get them for you?" Zhang Yu, who automatically rated his body temperature and didn't feel cold at all, declined the host's kindness. He put the last piece of dough into the box and closed the lid. Seeing him refuse, the old woman didn't push it. Watching him with the box of pastries, she started chattering again. "You city people are so delicate, even borrowing a kitchen to make pastries. Wait, the outsiders who came to the guest house last night didn't do that. I don't mind. This is for the child at home." The image of Zhang Qiling's innocent look appeared in his mind. Zhang Moyu curled his lips slightly, smiling. His whole demeanor softened instantly. "Oh, you have a child with you?" The old woman looked at him strangely. A big man, so handsome, with long hair, going up the mountain in the middle of the night with a child. He didn't have him by his side. He probably left him in the car. But his car was parked quite far away. He hadn't heard anyone in the village mention seeing a car. If he didn't have body temperature and a shadow, he would have thought he was a spirit from the old mountains. Realizing what he said might be impolite, the old woman added, "It's fine. Children are just spoiled. My grandson Go Sheng is the same. Besides making a mess in the village, he only thinks about food. You can use the remaining ingredients to make some for him to try." Thinking of Zhang Qiling's physical condition, he should eat some supplements. After people were asleep, Zhang Moyu went to the mountain to find some medicinal herbs, borrowed the farmhouse kitchen, and made pastries with glutinous rice, red beans, and herbs. After making a box, there were still plenty of scraps left. "Oh, that's too kind. Thank you. I saw a young man there. He looks a lot like you. You know them, right? Why aren't you traveling together?" Zhang Moyu didn't answer this question. He smiled at the old woman and got up to leave. On the other side, Zhang Qilin and Wu Sanqing, after the sun officially came out, found a bored child in the village to guide them up the mountain, but the child only led them for a part of the way. He didn't want to go any further. He kept saying there were man-eating tree spirits on the mountain and advised them to go back. Wu Sanqing and the others wouldn't give up. The child saw they didn't take his words seriously, muttering that it's hard to persuade the stubborn. "Damn ghosts." He asked for the guide fee from me, who looked the easiest to talk to, and went back by himself. I looked at the 15 yuan left in my wallet, wanting to cry. Just a moment ago, I held back my tears and gave the biggest bill in my bag to the child. I still remember the child's look when he saw I couldn't even take out 100 yuan. That look of contempt. I drifted resentfully to Wu Sanqing, who was finding the way, speaking softly. "Third uncle, the child was guiding us all. Why did he only ask me for money? Need you ask? Of course, you look the easiest to fool." Wu Sanqing guessed the child thought I looked innocent and soft-hearted, and could get more money from me. But he didn't expect me to be a poor person with nothing. But even if he thought that, he couldn't say it. Wu Sanqing pretended to ponder for a moment before speaking. "Maybe the child felt you were more approachable. Look, he originally wanted 100, but only took 50 from you. Sigh, it's a pity we don't have your charisma." Anyone could see he was bluffing, but I believed him. I had originally planned to ask my rich third uncle to split the cost, but this suddenly made me give up that idea. Wu Sanqing's words greatly comforted my heart, soothing my loneliness without money, and I even felt a bit smug in my heart. "Third uncle, it's no use being jealous." Zhang Qilin watched their interaction the whole time, seeing Wu Sanqing fool me with just a few words, while surprised at how easily I was fooled. His guard against Wu Sanqing went up another level. This person is really good at fooling people. The group wandered in the mountains for a while. Seeing it was almost noon, they decided to rest on the spot, eat lunch and then continue looking for the tomb, because there were many trees in the forest. Starting a fire could easily cause trouble. Wu Sanqing also found it troublesome, so he let everyone eat compressed biscuits with ham sausages for lunch. The food in Zhang Qiling's stomach had already digested, but he wasn't very hungry, so he put his essay of food into his backpack. At this moment, in the forest not far away, a loud and clear sound like a bird's call suddenly rang out. Zhang Qilin subconsciously turned to look in that direction. When he turned back, he met Wu Sanqing's probing gaze. He nodded calmly at Wu Sanqing. Then, regardless of whether he understood his meaning, Zhang Qilin stood up silently. When no one else was paying attention, he walked away quietly and disappeared into the forest in a flash. Wu Sanqing didn't care about Zhang Qilin leaving. He continued chatting and laughing with the others. After leaving, Zhang Qilin headed straight for the direction of the whistle. Soon he saw Zhang Moyu squatting by a fire, roasting a chicken. "You're here." Hearing footsteps approaching, he knew by instinct it was Zhang Qilin. Zhang Moyu greeted him without looking up, then gestured for him to come over and eat. "Where did you go?" Zhang Qiling's tone was very calm, but Zhang Moyu, having been the patriarch, had trained so many little Qilins, it was easy for him to hear the slight, imperceptible grievance and expectation in his words. Zhang Moyu looked at him with a smile. He took the roasted chicken off the wooden rack and handed it to him. "Have you eaten?" Zhang Qilin reached out and took the roasted chicken, then sat down next to him and asked, "I've eaten. This is specially roasted for you. The honey and spices on it were all things I found in the forest. It's not perfect. I just seasoned it randomly. Not sure if it's to your taste." While speaking, Zhang Moyu picked up the small pot he'd been simmering earlier, hooked it with the steel wire, and hung it on the wooden frame. He kept the simple medicinal meal brewing. Turning back, he saw Zhang Qilin holding a whole roast chicken. Looking a bit unsure where to start, Zhang Moyu took the chicken from him, handed him a bottle of water, and gestured for him to wash his hands. Once he finished washing, Moyu tore off a chicken leg and handed it to him. After he'd eaten most of it, he tore off another piece for him. Seeing Zhang Qiling's obedient expression, his cheeks bulging as he chewed, Zhang Moyu's expression softened, lost in the joy of feeding him. He kept feeding him non-stop. Zhang Moyu began talking about the Tim he was with. "That Tim of yours seems quite distant from you. It's just a temporary group. Nothing worth mentioning." Zhang Qilin nodded slightly and hummed, "Keep an eye on the leader leader of that Tim. A man lie that has too many schemes. Doesn't look like a decent person. Be careful not to get led astray by him. But if you do get led astray, I'm still here to get justice for you. So Zhang Mayu just gave a casual warning, not saying too much more. Zhang Qilin agreed with his words. After all, he'd just seen Wu Xie getting played by Wu Sanqing. Of course, the reason it went so smoothly was also because Wu Xie was too easy to fool. Wu Sanqing hired Zhang Qilin to protect Wu Xie in this tomb. Zhang Qilin hadn't wanted to come, but Wu Sanqing told him there was something here related to his past memories. When Wu Sanqing mentioned the ghost seal, Zhang Qiling's mind suddenly flashed with memory fragments of the Bronze Gate. Realizing Wu Sanqing did know something and that he truly needed the ghost seal, Zhang Qilin agreed to the trip. Looking back now, Zhang Qilin felt he'd been played by Wu Sanqing. Looking at Zhang Mayu, who was watching him softly, he hesitated for a moment. Zhang Qilin finally decided to tell him he could have him help retrieve the ghost seal while he kept an eye on Wu Sanqing to see what he was really up to. It was also a test for Zhang Mayu. He didn't really have many doubts about this man, but years of caution made him unable to trust anyone getting close to him. He said, the ghost seal is here. If I want it, will you help? Suddenly hearing a distress signal from the little Qilin, Zhang Mayu nodded without a second thought. Dad, I can help you get it. He paused, thinking about Zhang Qiling's status and how he used to be by his side. Unlike those brats who just cleaned up messes, he is the current Zhang clan head. Zhang Mayu added, actually, you can just give me orders. You are the clan head, the leader. You have the right to decide anything. The Zhang clan is gone. Zhang Qilin lowered his head, making his expression hard to read. Even his eating slowed down. As long as the clan head exists, the Zhang clan remains. Zhang Mayu's tone was firm and unquestionable. Zhang Qilin pursed his lips, turning to meet his gaze, seeing the trust and support in his eyes. A moment of confusion flashed in his heart. He suddenly felt another weight of responsibility on his shoulders. Seeing his heavy mood, Zhang Mayu comforted him. Don't feel pressured. I'm here for everything. Even if you do nothing, you can take your time. We haven't found other clansmen yet. You'll see later on. Being clan head is actually quite simple. Usually, just handle the small disputes. If you don't want to do other things, just dump them on other clansmen. Even if you want to be willful, everyone will indulge you. No one will go against your wishes. Honestly, Zhang Mayu really felt that while Zhang Qiling's situation was tragic, with the burden of reviving the family, it was actually quite simple to lead. But if they had a choice, they'd all hope it wasn't this simple. When Zhang Mayu was the leader, there were over 3,000 people in the direct line alone. Adults and children were all troublesome. Hundreds of people could cause chaos in the clan grounds daily. Even those outside the clan grounds would stir up plenty of trouble. By comparison, reviving the family with their unique abilities and bloodline would be quite simple as long as there were people. What does the ghost seal look like? Is there anything special about it? Need to know to find it. Zhang Mayu didn't even know what it looked like. Seeing him still a bit unsure, Zhang Qilin hesitated, then asked his own question. The Zhang clan has guarded the Bronze Gate for generations. The ghost seal is the key. You don't know? Zhang Qiling's firm tone left Zhang Mayu feeling uncertain. Is that so? Isn't the Zhang clan a Taoist family that has exorcised evil for generations? He was dazed for a moment, then remembered that his era was 2,000 years ago. With the passage of time, changes were normal, but exorcism and family continuity were the core of the clan rules. Why did the current leader only remember guarding a bronze gate? In my time, there was no bronze gate. The Zhang clan's duty was to purge evil for heaven, destroying demons and ghosts, and at most, continuing the family line. Zhang Mayu frowned slightly, feeling this wasn't simple. Such words wouldn't be passed down for no reason. Do you remember anything more specific? Zhang Qilin thought carefully again. They were all scattered memory fragments. There were no other memories of the bronze gate. But while searching for memories, he had heard some things. It contains the ultimate legend. It lets people see what they want most. As for what the ultimate is, he didn't know. Doesn't sound like a good thing. From my experience, anything that grants wishes is either an evil god or something that causes hallucinations, since it needs to be locked behind a bronze gate and guarded by the Zhang clan for generations. Or to put it another way, guarded by the Qilin bloodline for generations. It's very likely the former. Zhang Mayu guessed that perhaps a generation of the Zhang clan found an evil god they couldn't handle and had to seal it away. Creating a bronze gate, sealing it so outsiders wouldn't break the seal, but guarding it forever isn't a solution. It was fine in the past, but now the Zhang clan is too scarce. We can't spare the manpower. I'll go with you to see that bronze gate later. See if we can solve that thing. Oh cool, since they were both Zhangs. Zhang Qilin easily agreed to Mayu's request. Clan head, you're really cute. Seeing Zhang Qilin answer every question, looking so obedient, Zhang Mayu couldn't help but smile again. Hearing the praise, Zhang Qilin felt his cheeks heat up. He spoke uncomfortably. You can call me by my name, since he was an elder. Zhang Mayu didn't insist on calling him clan head in private, but asked smoothly, then what is your real name? This question made Zhang Qilin fall into deep thought. In his existing memories, he was just called Zhang Qilin. Why was Zhang Mayu asking him what his real name was? After thinking for a while, Zhang Qilin finally found a name in the corners of his memory. Xiaoguan, Xiaoguan. Warmth filled the air between them. After finishing the whole chicken, Zhang Qilin was full. Zhang Mayu took the medicinal meal off the rack and served him a bowl. It was hot, just cooked. Blow on it while you drink. It's a medicinal tonic. It's good for your body. Thank you. Zhang Qilin took a sip, finding that although the medicinal smell was bitter, it didn't taste bitter at all. On the contrary, it even had a faint sweetness. Do you like this flavor? Zhang Qilin didn't answer, just nodded reservedly, examining his expression carefully. Seeing that he really liked it, Zhang Mayu felt relieved. Sure enough, no matter the time, the little Qilins of the Zhang clan all liked sweet flavors. After Zhang Qilin finished, Zhang Mayu took out the snacks he'd made from his Qilin bracelet and placed them in his lap. There were over a dozen snacks in the box, each about the size of an egg, round and white with a hint of pink, looking exceptionally cute. I made these this morning. Added herbs for blood and energy. They're red bean filled. You should lie them. By now, already full. Zhang Qilin looked at the full box of snacks in his hands and fell into silence again. He wanted to say he didn't need so much food prepared for him. At this rate of feeding, Zhang Qilin worried he'd eventually be fed into a fatty. He knew it was because when they first met, his eating was a bit unrefined and he ate too much, leading Zhang Mayu to misunderstand his appetite. Zhang Qilin clarified with a serious expression, I can't eat all this, no need for so much. Zhang Mayu had just added water to the pot, preparing to cook the eggs he grabbed, while catching the chicken into the remaining broth. The medicine is still potent, just boil them. Unexpectedly hearing this, his hand stopped moving. Pondering, Zhang Mayu suddenly remembered there was someone else in Zhang Qilin's tin he knew. That unlucky kid full of evil energy. That kid had burned the talisman he'd given him yesterday. Wonder if he's Oku. He'd been too focused on Zhang Qilin to track on him. There's a kid in your Tim I looked after before. If you can't eat it, give it to him. Speaking of the kid, Zhang Qilin subconsciously thought of Wu Xie, but then he thought, given Zhang Moyu's age, it didn't seem strange for him to call anyone a kid. What's his name? I don't know. Zhang Moyu answered honestly, an answer beyond Zhang Qilin's expectations. Names are just labels for people living in the world. Zhang Moyu didn't think it was a problem to know someone but not their name, but added a description of Wu Xie. That kid loves to smile. He looks quite fair and clean. Just looks a bit foolish. I also gave him a clan contact jade pendant. You should be able to sense it. Zhang Qilin instantly locked onto Wu Xie, thinking about how Wu Xie met Zhang Moyu before him, and left a deep impression on him, and that Zhang Moyu even gave him a jade pendant. Zhang Qilin felt a strange emotion suddenly rise in his heart. It seemed a bit sour, but not exactly uncomfortable. That unlucky kid, I saw him 2 years ago. His fate is problematic. If left alone, it'll cause big trouble. Seeing Zhang Qilin's inner awkwardness, Zhang Moyu explained kindly. Oku, I know. What kind of pastry is this? Realizing his small feelings were seen through, Zhang Qilin changed the subject uncomfortably. Red sao cake. Though people in the clan don't usually call it that. Zhang Moyu looked at him with a smile. Feeling a bit mischievous, he deliberately lowered his voice. Clansmen usually call it beauty mark or beauty skin dot. These are descriptive names given by the clansmen. Look at how white and pink, smooth and soft it is, especially when it's fresh out of the pot. It feels most like beauty skin. Zhang Qilin felt Zhang Moyu was teasing him like a child, but surprisingly, he didn't hate this feeling. I'm going back. He'd been out for a while. He didn't know how Wu Sanqing would speculate behind his back. It was time to go back. Oh cool, I'll follow behind your Tim. After you go down, if you need anything, call me. Then, thinking of Zhang Qilin's trail, every time you go down, you bleed. And looking at it, most of it is self-inflicted. Zhang Moyu's smile faded, and he warned him seriously. Don't hurt yourself by bleeding randomly. You don't seem to know your own physical condition. I don't know why the Zhang clan's medical heritage wasn't passed down, but I can tell you, your physical condition is very bad. It will take a long time to recover. If it weren't for the Qilin blood, Zhang Moyu didn't finish his sentence, but he knew Zhang Qilin understood what he meant. Zhang Qilin was stunned for a moment, nodding helplessly. A thick sense of guilt suddenly rose in his heart. Before leaving, Zhang Qilin glanced at the remaining medicinal broth in the pot, and the eggs boiling in the water. He sighed inwardly. Zhang Moyu really knew how to make the most of everything, and this look in his eyes, to Zhang Moyu, was just a greedy little Qilin, who, even though his stomach was already full, was still thinking about the eggs he was boiling, so he happily decided to pack up the eggs once they were done, and save them as a snack for the little Qilin next time. By the time Zhang Qilin returned to the Tim, everyone had finished eating and was ready to go. Xiao-Ji, you're back. Where did you go? We haven't seen you for so long. We were all worried about you, you know? Wu Xie started chattering as soon as Zhang Qilin arrived. It's not just you who's worried, Wu Sanqing muttered in his heart, but showed an agreeable expression on his face. Yeah, Xiao Zhang. It's not safe for you to run off alone. You should stay with the main group. Zhang Qilin glanced at Wu Sanqing, who looked like a smiling tiger, with no intention of talking to him. He shoved the snacks into Wu Xie's arms, and went to the side to find some peace. What's this? Xiao-Ji, where did you get these pastries? They look so delicious. Seeing the round dumplings in the box, Wu Xie's eyes lit up. He reached out to grab one, but was intercepted by Wu Sanqing. Wu Sanqing sniffed the stolen pastry, then took a bite as if nothing happened, ignoring Wu Xie's angry glare, and added insult to injury. I'm testing for poison, checking if there's anything added. Nephew, you should be thanking me. What's with that look? Wu Xie felt a breath stuck in his chest, uncomfortable and unable to let it out. He finally decided to ignore his annoying third uncle, and grabbed another one to stuff in his mouth. After one bite, Wu Xie was instantly conquered by the soft texture. The glutinous rice layer had a faint medicinal fragrance, soft and chewy, tasting slightly bitter, but it perfectly balanced the sweetness of the red bean paste. Xiao-Ji, where did you get these pastries? They're so good. Wu Xie's face instantly lit up with happiness. He thought these tasted much better than the ones at Luelu. They should be at the level of the Xinyuai Hotel. Unfortunately, the food there was too expensive, and he'd only been there a couple of times with his uncles. Zhang Qilin just calmly replied with one word, his face expressionless. Wu Xie didn't get any information from him, which was a pity. He was thinking of buying some when he had money. But Wu Sanqing, from that one word, mysteriously felt a sense of pride. He looked at Zhang Qilin with a strange expression, thinking he was acting weird. But it wasn't the kind of weirdness of someone wearing a human skin mask. It was more like his demeanor and mental state were strange. But he didn't say anything more. Maybe it was his personal business. The group walked on the mountain for a while, and arrived at a campsite full of tents. But the campsite was empty, carrying a sense of desolation. Third master, look, there's a camp here. Dakue shouted at Wu Sanqing in surprise. Wu Sanqing rolled his eyes at him, annoyed. I see it, my subordinate. This must be the camp of those foreigners who arrived before us. Pansy, go check if there's anyone inside. Oko, third master, Pansy nodded, checking every tent. He didn't see a single person, and came back to report. Third master, there's no one in the tents. The labels on their gear have been torn off, but looking closely, they're all foreign goods. It's definitely those foreigners who came before us. Wu Sanqing looked around the largest tent, then looked at the long extinguished fire outside. They didn't leave long ago. They must have found the entrance and gone down. They went down first and took all the good stuff. Doesn't that mean we've come for nothing? Maybe we shouldn't waste time here. Let's just go back. Find another tomb. Dakue's brainless words made Wu Sanqing regret bringing him for the nth time. His performance wasn't even as good as the clueless Wu Xie. No, even if we came for nothing, we have to go in and look. What if there's still treasure? This was Wu Xie, led astray by Dakue's words. Wu Xie was just thinking that he had begged his third uncle for a long time before he agreed to bring him along. What if he didn't want to bring him to the next tomb? So he had to go down this time. Hearing this, Wu Sanqing couldn't help but reach out and touch his face, mysteriously feeling his face hurt. He looked at Wu Xie with mixed feelings, and finally couldn't help but say, you two, shut up. Xiao-Ji, go find the entrance to the tomb. Since they camped here, the entrance should be right nearby. Facing those two troublemakers, Wu Sanqing only felt a headache. He told Zhang Qilin to quickly find the entrance. The sooner they went down, the sooner it would be over. Perhaps because the leader of those foreigners wasn't very skilled, Zhang Qilin didn't find the hole they had dug, but found the location of the main tomb entrance. Taking the Luoyang shovel out of his bag, Wu Sanqing had Pansy dig down from there. They discovered the soil brought up was blood red. Then Wu Sanqing's theory about a blood corpse tomb came out, scaring Wu Xie, whose worldview was shifting from science to metaphysics. What? A blood corpse tomb? It sounded super powerful. Remembering what Zhang Mayu told him, Wu Xia suddenly had a bad premonition. Having the experience of meeting the cat girl 2 years ago, Wu Xia quieted down for once, not clamoring to go down. When Wu Sanqing saw, Wu Xia had become less reckless and curious. He thought, this won't do. The stage was set, but Wu Xia wasn't taking the bait. How could the play go on? There was no choice. Wu Sanqing had to perform a one-man show, analyzing the pros and cons to himself, and finally making a decision. The tomb raiders were all veterans, so the hole was dug quickly. Soon, they reached a complete wooden wall. Just as Pansy was about to smash it with a shovel, Zhang Qilin suddenly reached out and stopped him. Don't move. After saying that, Zhang Qilin extended his 5 fingers, felt the wall, then pulled back. Using those 2 exceptionally long index and middle fingers, he probed into the gaps between the bricks and pulled a brick out with raw force. Not far behind them, Zhang Mayu, standing on a tree branch, relying on his keen eyesight to look over, saw everything clearly. Seeing this, he went silent. The Zhen clan's Qilin finger could indeed resist water and fire, and was immune to blades, death. But wasn't the skill meant for medical diagnosis and testing poison? When did it get developed into a function for dismantling walls by hand? The SOC from this scene was too great, making Zhang Mayu hallucinate a brat using the imperial seal to crack walnuts. Zhang Qilin's behavior also left Wu Xia, who was watching, dumbfounded. He looked down at his own hands, then at Zhang Qiling's hands. Behind the wall was a white wax layer. After pulling a brick out of the wall, his fingers were only covered in a bit of dust, and not even a scratch on his skin. After struggling internally for a long time, Wu Xia still felt it was impossible for a human hand to be unscathed after that. Such a thing wasn't very likely. Finally, he guessed it was because the wall had been buried underground for so long, corroded and decayed by time, becoming as hard as a lump of dirt. Before Wu Xia could even act on his own thoughts, the calculating Wu Sanqing stopped Pansy and told him to take the needle and tube out of the bag. Zhang Qilin takes the item without a hint of surprise. He heats the needle and inserts it. He draws out the strong acid inside. Third uncle, you were prepared for this. Wu Xia's sudden remark makes Wu Sanqing's face stiffen. Afraid Wu Xia will keep thinking about it. He notices something wrong and quickly speaks up. What do you mean, prepared? I'm just well-equipped and cautious. Alright, enough of that. Pansy, Dakue, clear the entrance. Trek the air again to be safe. We'll go in once we confirm the oxygen is fine. Wu Sanqing leads the group at the front. Wu Xia, following behind, passes the brick wall. Thinking he's being subtle, he mimics Zhang Qiling's earlier move. He pokes the stone wall, but the wall doesn't budge at all. Wu Xia nearly breaks his fingers from the force. Wu Xia's eyes widen instantly, not wanting to be embarrassed by such a stupid mistake. He suppresses the urge to scream. But how much can a pampered young master really endure? After holding it for 2 seconds, Wu Xia's breath hitches. His face turns pale. He gasps in pain. He pulls his hand back, trembling. Wu Xia shoves his hands in his pockets, walking stiffly, trying to act like nothing happened. Then he suddenly remembers Zhang Qilin is behind him. He turns his head stiffly, seeing Zhang Qiling's expressionless face, exactly as it was before. He thinks about how quiet this guy is. He probably wouldn't make a sound even if hit 3 times. He shouldn't go around talking about his business. Wu Xia finally relaxes. The tomb passage slopes downward. The tunnel isn't long. At the end is a simple stone chamber, surrounded by smooth stone bricks. It looks completely ordinary. In the center is a stone platform, about 2 meters long, and over a meter high. On the platform sits a half-meter tall vessel, covered in copper rust. A 4-legged bronze tripod with an ancient aura. Behind the tripod, a massive stone coffin is visible. The coffin has no carvings or inscriptions, not even an epitaph to identify the occupant. Behind the coffin, there is a deep tunnel wide enough for 2 people. Pitch black, impossible to see what's inside. Wu Sanqing and the others focus on the coffin. In a moment of distraction, the reckless Dakue climbs into the bronze tripod, holding a handful of gold and jade ornaments in ecstasy. Pansy stands beside the tripod. Beaming, he waves and calls to Wu Sanqing. Third master, look. So many treasures here. This trip is already worth it just for these. Seeing them so careless, Wu Sanqing's expression changes. He shouts sternly, get down. Are you two trying to die? That's a sacrificial tripod. You dare touch something so cursed? Wu Sanqing is absolutely furious. Dakue is one thing, a novice who knows nothing. He's just here to help out on this trip. If he hadn't come crying to him a few days ago, he wouldn't have wanted him here at all. But Pansy is his trusted subordinate. He's been on many tomb raids with him. To be this reckless now is completely inexcusable. Third master, you're just too cautious. What era is this? Still believing in ghosts and spirits. Dakue dismisses his words. Grinning, he thinks Wu Sanqing is just getting old, afraid of everything. Pansy, however, listens to Wu Sanqing. He lets go almost the moment the words are spoken. He tries to pull Dakue out of the tripod, seeing what Dakue is holding, and the valuables hanging off him. Wu Xia, being a total pauper, can't help but feel tempted, thinking if Dakue is fine after taking them, maybe he could sneak up and take a little too, to ease his financial pressure. Guided by his own greed, Wu Xia can't help but defend Dakue. It should be fine. Third uncle, look, nothing. Before Wu Xia can finish his sentence, a strange clack-clack sound comes from behind him. He freezes in place instantly. Could it be that not far from them, the dust-covered, motionless stone coffin is suddenly leaking wisps of black mist? The lid keeps trembling, as if something inside is about to wake up. The terrifying clacking sound from earlier came from right inside there. Before Wu Xia can turn toward the sound, another similar clacking sound rings out, and this time, it's closer, right beside him. Little brother, are you human or a ghost? Wu Xia looks at Zhang Qilin beside him, asking cautiously, his heart trembling. Zhang Qilin ignores his question, and starts communicating with the thing in the coffin. Wu Sanqing lightens his footsteps, carefully walks over to Wu Xia, covers his mouth before he can say more, and pulls him back. Pansy tenses up, staring vigilantly at the coffin as he leans toward Wu Sanqing. Dakue shivers in fear, climbing out of the bronze tripod, stumbling as he shrinks back toward Pansy. Zhang Qilin is still communicating with the thing in the coffin. Wu Sanqing whispers in Wu Xia's ear. Zhang Qilin is very capable and has a great reputation in the business. He won't harm them. He comforts Wu Xia. Just do whatever Zhang Qilin says. They'll be fine. One hand trembling as he grips the jade pendant on his chest. Wu Xia pats Wu Sanqing's shoulder behind him, indicating this is nothing. He isn't afraid at all. As the communication continues, the movement in the coffin doesn't subside. Instead, it intensifies, as if in the next second, the master of the house is about to lift the lid and perform a lie resurrection for them. Zhang Qilin hears the unreasonable demand from the corpse. He frowns slightly, just as he hesitates. Suddenly, another clacking sound arrives, accompanied by a faint, oppressive pressure. The movement in the coffin suddenly dies down. Hearing the other sound coming from the path they entered through. Wu Sanqing and the others feel their scalps tingle, feeling they are now being attacked from both sides. Their situation is even worse. But when Zhang Qilin hears that sound, his eyes light up, and he straightens his back calmly. The strange clacking sound stops. The coffin lid stops shaking too. The tomb chamber falls into a deathly silence. Only the black mist continues to seep out. Zhang Huayu stands at the entrance of the passage, where they can't see, with a sharp gaze, looking down the path with an expressionless face, thinking of the blood lion he just heard, being disrespectful to his little Qilin, and daring to intimidate his child while no elders are around, bullying the young. Zhang Huayu's hand unconsciously touches the bone whip at his waist, considering, once the others leave, whether he should go down and whip that reckless scum to death, or whip him a few more times to vent his anger. After a moment of standoff, the corpse in the coffin clacks twice more. The black mist in the air begins to condense and retreat, vanishing back into the coffin, seeing that it couldn't negotiate with him, and was threatened by Zhang Huayu's aura. The corpse became as quiet as a chicken. Zhang Qilin suddenly wants to laugh. He curls his lips slightly, feeling a rare sense of relief. His eyes flicker, suddenly holding some mischievous thoughts. He turns to the others and speaks seriously. We must leave tonight. Be careful. Don't touch the coffin. Understood, little brother. Wu Sanqing is the first to respond to his words. Then he instructs the three people beside him. Pay attention. Don't touch anything. Because Zhang Qilin has never had any negative rumors. Wu Sanqing doesn't doubt his words at all. And the other three wouldn't have any other thoughts either. They take Zhang Qilin's words as imperial decrees, keeping them firmly in mind. Don't worry, third uncle. I'll be on my best behavior. Don't worry, third master. I won't move. I really won't move. Little brother, what about behind us? Seeing Zhang Qilin only focused on the thing in the coffin, and said nothing about the thing making noise on the path behind them. Wu Xia wants to ask how to deal with the thing that appeared behind them. He is stopped by a tug from Wu Sanqing. Zhang Qilin turns to look. Wu Sanqing gives him a friendly smile, speaking understandingly. Little brother, we'll listen to you. Wu Sanqing suspects that whoever is following them was called by Zhang Qilin, and that their ability is extraordinary. He thinks it's likely the legendary Black Blind. After all, there are only a few experts in the business. He knows them all, and the only one close to Zhang Qilin is the Black Blind. Although he's never heard of such a flashy person, claiming he can communicate with corpses. But if the North can communicate with corpses, there's no reason the South, who is just as famous, can't. Maybe that clacking behind them was just saying, you old guy, stop bothering them, and was about to fight dirty, 2-on-1. He feels that's something the South could say, and it fits the current situation perfectly. Didn't you see the corpse go quiet immediately after hearing it? It must have known it couldn't beat the two of them combined. Wu Sanqing feels his logic is sound. It's probably the truth. Zhang Qilin was originally thinking of how to explain it, to keep the old fox Wu Sanqing from being suspicious, to save some trouble. He didn't expect Wu Sanqing to convince himself. This way, he doesn't have to strain his brain, or say much at all. Zhang Qilin is satisfied with Wu Sanqing's tact, and gives him a look, telling them to follow Wu Sanqing. The group obediently lines up, one after another, following Zhang Qilin like well-behaved schoolchildren. The group continues downward along the passage. A few minutes later, the path becomes level again. Just as they were getting impatient, they suddenly discover a grave robbery hole on the side of the passage. Third uncle, is this the hole those foreigners dug? Wu Xia curiously leans in, but is pulled back by Wu Sanqing. Wu Sanqing carefully examines the area around the hole, denying his thought. This hole was indeed dug from the outside in, but it shouldn't be the hole those foreigners dug. Look, this hole was clearly dug in a hurry. They probably encountered some danger in the tomb, and had to dig a hole to escape, it seems. Although those foreigners got in before us, they didn't have any luck. The treasures inside must still be there. Reaching this conclusion, the group speeds up, eager to get to the next chamber. Soon, they see a massive jade door. On both sides of the door are fierce-looking, jet-black demon statues. But right now, everyone's attention isn't on the expensive jade door, nor on the scary demon statues, but on the gap in the door, wide enough for one person to pass through. Those people already scouted the path. No need to be too careful. Let's hurry in and see what's going on. Behind this door should be the main chamber. They all perk up. After entering, they discover this chamber is truly unusual. Normal chambers only have one coffin. Looking around at a glance, there are actually 7 identical coffins. These 7 coffins are arranged in a specific pattern. Wu Xia feels they look somewhat familiar, but can't remember where he's seen them. Above the chamber is a grand ceiling covered in murals, looking quite majestic, surrounded by uniform stone slabs, densely carved with characters. The light from their flashlights scatters, illuminating the chaotic areas. The group finally sees clearly. There are 2 side chambers on the edges. 7 star suspicious coffins. At this moment, Zhang Qilin looks at the 7 coffins, and names the layout. Hearing these familiar 4 characters, Wu Xia suddenly has a realization, finally remembering where he saw this layout. Isn't this the 7 star suspicious coffins, designed by the founder of grave robbers in his grandfather's notes? I know this. The 7 star suspicious coffins were used by ancient grave robbers because they robbed too many tombs. Afraid their own graves would be robbed after death, they deliberately placed 7 coffins to set up a maze. Legend says only one of the 7 is real. The others are traps and killing mechanisms. Hearing Wu Xia's clear explanation, Wu Sanqing nods with satisfaction. It seems Wu Xia has been reading those notes seriously. At this moment, Zhang Qilin speaks up coldly. If you don't want people to rob it, there won't be a real one. Wu Sanqing feels Zhang Qilin is talking a bit too much today, but he's right. So he follows up by saying to Wu Xia, true, it's better to be skeptical of books than to believe them entirely. You can't take everything at face value, understand, nephew? Wu Xia rolls his eyes at Wu Sanqing, thinking he's just parroting others. Wu Sanqing isn't embarrassed. He turns and gives Pansy a look. Pansy nods imperceptibly. Then he waves to Wu Xia, little third master. Look, there are many inscriptions here. What do they mean? Hearing he's needed to translate the inscriptions, and can show off his skills, Wu Xia is instantly interested. The inscriptions don't disappoint him. The things recorded are strange and bizarre, filled with mythological color. According to the records here, the owner of this tomb was a vassal of the Lu state. He was born with a ghost seal, capable of. This ghost seal could borrow underworld soldiers to help him fight. He made great contributions to the Duke of Lu. Later, he was titled the King of Lu Merchants. Then, suddenly one day, he said to the Duke of Lu, there was a rebellion by ghosts in the underworld. He had borrowed soldiers before. Now he had to go back to repay the emperor's favor. After the Duke of Lu granted his request, he kowtowed and sat in meditation until he passed away. The Duke of Lu really believed he could communicate with the underworld and would return to serve him again. So he built this underground palace for him to preserve his body. But looking at this, he probably never came back. These ancients are full of it, borrowing underworld soldiers. Why didn't he say he was a general from the underworld, reincarnated to the human world for training? That could only fool those ignorant ancients. Pansy's face is full of disbelief. Wu Sanqing follows up. Borrowing underworld soldiers is definitely impossible. There must be a hidden secret here, but that's none of our business. Let's open the coffins first. Pansy approaches a coffin with his tools, preparing to open it. He notices a clear gap between the coffin and the lid. Third master, this coffin has been opened. His shout brings the scattered group together. Pansy and donghua work together to push the lid off. The coffin is filled with jewelry, but lying inside is a blonde foreigner. Why is there a foreigner lying in here? Donghua cries out in surprise and reaches his hand down. He is grabbed by Zhang Qilin. Don't move. The real owner is underneath him. At this reminder, the group looks closely and discovers a half-dried corpse underneath the foreigner. A jet black body. Donghua instantly pulls his hand back, looking sheepishly at Zhang Qilin. Third uncle, this must be one of those foreigners, right? It must be. They opened the coffin before us, but they didn't expect it to be a trap and got caught. I see. And it's a case of once bitten, 10 years afraid of a rope. They didn't dare open the other coffins and went straight to the next chamber. So the other coffins show no signs of being opened. Wu Xia and Wu Sunqing discuss their theories. Suddenly, Wu Xia is tugged by donghua. Wu Xia turns to look and sees donghua pointing his flashlight toward the wall. His body shivering, his eyes filled with fear. Little third master. Look, Wu Xia thinks he found something terrifying. He looks in the direction of his trembling finger, but doesn't find anything strange. So he asks directly, what did you find? Little third master, look, there are 5 of us. But Wu Xia follows his words and counts the shadows on the wall, suddenly discovering there is a 6th shadow. Besides them, there is another one with a large, round head, a fat body, standing in a strange posture. The whole thing looks bizarre, not like a human shadow, just as Wu Xia observes carefully, and the others notice the anomaly. A string of strange sounds comes from over there. Lie some ancient language. Alaji heyo. Nail shiha lida lily matty. Someone is seriously playing a ghost. Catching the old fox Wu Sunqing off guard, Zhang Qilin senses a strange presence in the chamber, suddenly turns on his flashlight, shining it on someone hiding behind a pillar, with a broken jar on his head. A fat man playing a ghost. So someone was playing a ghost. Damn it, you bastard. Daring to scare people, I'll shoot you. Pansy, also startled, is furious, cursing while raising his gun. He fires a shot at the fat man. With a clack, the bullet hits the jar. The jar shatters instantly, but it saves Wang Ponzi's head. Holy crap, you actually shot. Can't you take a joke? Fatty, I despise you all. Wang Ponzi is startled by their overreaction. He retorts, then nimbly darts toward the path they came from. Zhang Qilin's eyes flicker. Feeling this is a good time to leave the group, he shouts to the others, bad. Don't let him disturb the thing in the coffin. Otherwise, we're all doomed. After saying this, he doesn't care what they think. He flashes after him. He leaves the group, mainly to meet up with Zhang Mayu behind them, to discuss how to recover his memories, and whether to work together to search the tomb, and see if Zhang Mayu can handle the things down here. Although Zhang Mayu is very skilled, and seems to know a lot, but from their few interactions, the Zhang family of Zhang Mayu's era has nothing to do with grave robbing. From his knowledge of the human body, and his familiarity with medicine and herbal cooking, the Zhang family of that time might be better at medicine. Grave robbing is different from other things. Experience is often much more important than skill. He might be tomb raiding for the first time, unaware of the dangers and traps inside. He might get caught if he's not careful. So he's worried and wants to see how he's doing. Wang Ponzi runs for his life. He heard Zhang Qilin say he was coming after him, but after running for a while, he hears no sound. Curiously, he turns to look and sees Zhang Qilin with an expressionless face, following him silently like a ghost. He doesn't see him moving fast, yet he manages to keep up. At first glance, he looks like he's floating. If an ordinary person encountered this, they'd probably be scared to death. Wang Ponzi sees his posture and shivers all over. His potential is triggered by fear. He runs even faster. Big bot, I was wrong. Oku, can you stop chasing me? Zhang Qilin remains silent, maintaining a steady pace behind him. Gradually, Wang Ponzi notices this. The person chasing him is indeed very skilled, but doesn't seem to have any intention of catching him. He gradually slows down. Wang Ponzi finally reaches the chamber with the stone coffin, out of breath. Before he can catch his breath, suddenly, a white shadow moves with a sharp gust of wind. Whoosh, it passes right in front of him, followed by a bang. A large hole is smashed into the stone wall beside him. Debris falls everywhere. Wang Ponzi is so shocked he forgets to breathe, swallowing hard. Seeing the long-haired man with a white whip standing in the middle, his heart pounds. Just a moment ago, if that person wasn't so skilled and hadn't whipped out and changed direction midair, he would be in worse shape than the shattered stone beside him. Wang Ponzi also noticed the person ahead and the one chasing her shared a similar aura. He couldn't help but wonder, are they working together? He wondered why that guy didn't rush to catch him. Turns out there was someone even tougher ahead. What did he do to deserve this? To have 2 experts show up at once. Cowering behind the stone coffin, the blood corpse also dodged an attack and let out a terrifying roar. Wang Ponzi finally realized there was a scary monster right there. It looked just like the legendary blood corpse. It clearly wasn't going to be easy. The blood corpse seemed to sense his gaze. It suddenly turned its head toward him and flashed a hideous, terrifying grin. Then its joints cracked audibly. It lunged at Wang Ponzi without warning. Wang Ponzi shouted damn it before he could even finish the word. Zhang Qilin kicked him out of the way. Then Zhang Qilin gathered his strength and kicked the blood corpse square in the chest, making it miss its target entirely and sending it flying backward. From that single, powerful strike, Zhang Mayu, who had been toying with the corpse, saw Zhang Qilin join the fray and cooperated by swinging his whip. Zhang Mayu's whip was no ordinary weapon. It had been with him ever since he entered the horror world, nourished by the world's ghost energy and his own. It had developed a spirit of its own. It was easy to use and perfectly controlled. The bone whip hissed through the air. Its tiny bone blades instantly expanded, wrapping around the blood corpse's neck, sinking deep into the flesh. Before the corpse could react, Zhang Mayu gave a sharp tug. The sharp blades acted like a saw, easily slicing the corpse's head right off. Wang Ponzi watched the terrifying blood corpse fall in just one round of teamwork. From these 2 experts, it was defeated instantly, dead as a doornail. He felt a deep sense of awe for them. These are the real deal, real experts right in front of him. Wang Ponzi knew he had to seize this chance. If he could get in good with them, he could walk anywhere in these tombs. Walk straight, walk sideways. He could do whatever he wanted. Big bosses, may I have your names? Wang Ponzi bowed to them and introduced himself with ease. I'm Wang Ponzi, the prince of grave robbing. Just call me Ponzi. I'm quite well known back in Panjiayuan, Beijing. If you ever need any help in the future, just come find me there. Just ask around the area and you'll hear of Lord Pang. I'm famous for it. Kind-hearted and generous. Panzi kept rambling on about himself, but Zhang Qilin just nodded at him and walked toward Zhang Moyu, ignoring him. Zhang Moyu looked at Panzi, who was staring at him with starry eyes. He actually had a good impression of him, and gave his name with a smile. Coming closer, Zhang Qilin checked him over to make sure he wasn't hurt, and asked, "Are you okay?" Zhang Moyu saw that he knew he wouldn't be hurt, yet still left the Tim to trek on him, asking if he could handle it. A warmth welled up in his heart, and he gave him a gentle smile. "You don't need to worry about me, even though I haven't raided tombs much. I'm quite good at dealing with evil things. You, on the other hand, don't get hurt." Zhang Moyu looked at him with a smile. His expression was very gentle, but his words were quite harsh. "When we get out, I'll stay by your side, and get your health back in order. I'll brew the medicinal soup for you every day. You must drink it. If I catch you getting hurt on purpose, I'll add extra bitter herbs to your medicine. Don't worry, I have a good sense of balance. I won't let the bitterness ruin your taste buds. You'll need to drink this for at least 3 years. You can decide for yourself." Zhang Moyu knew his children too well. If no one keeps an eye on them, they have no sense of self-preservation. They say they're fine when caught, with a blank face to hide their thoughts, but they have plenty of schemes in their heads. He told Zhang Qilin this to put a leash on him, to make him be more careful. Most of the clan members hate bitter and sour tastes, generally speaking, unless it's a major issue. Using these two as threats works every time. After hearing his words, Zhang Qilin's expression stiffened for a moment. Then he nodded very seriously. "I will be careful." Zhang Qilin thought he wouldn't be used to it, having someone care for him, feeling awkward and worried about making Zhang Moyu worry by bleeding. But Zhang Moyu's words broke his defenses, making him remember not to cut himself and bleed for no reason. When he first regained consciousness, the bitter medicine Black Blind brewed for a year left a deep impression on him, so much so that for a long time after, whenever he saw Black Blind's face, he felt nauseous. Wang Panzi waited until they were done before approaching. He showered them with praise, and got Zhang Qilin's name, calling them both brother affectionately. Maybe because he was older, Zhang Moyu felt that being called brother was just taking advantage of his clan members. He didn't want Panzi to call him that, but after correcting him to no avail, and thinking about the complex family ties, Zhang Moyu just let it go. Compared to the expressionless and seemingly grumpy Zhang Qilin, who kept a straight face, Wang Panzi preferred to be around Zhang Moyu, who was calm and occasionally smiled. But fate had other plans. Soon, Zhang Moyu and Zhang Qilin separated, and he pushed Panzi toward Zhang Qilin. Wang Panzi knew both experts had their own business. It was generous enough that Zhang Moyu let Qilin take him, so he followed Zhang Qilin obediently. Wang Panzi tried to start a conversation to get closer to this cold, mysterious guy, but Zhang Qilin only reacted at the start. Once he realized Panzi was just talking nonsense, he stopped paying attention to him. Just when Panzi thought Qilin would take him to his Tim, Zhang Qilin suddenly pointed to the side, signaling Panzi to stand there. Panzi didn't think Qilin would mess with him, so he stood there without any guard, only to be slapped in the face the next second. He watched happily as Zhang Qilin reached out and pressed something. The ground beneath him vanished instantly. He lost his balance and fell. "Ah, damn it. Damn it, where did all these bugs come from?" As soon as Wang Panzi fell, he cried out. Countless small black bugs crawled onto him, biting him everywhere. He couldn't even think about why Zhang Qilin suddenly turned on him. He scrambled up and started swatting at himself, and saw Wu Xia in a similar situation nearby. Not far from him, Wu Xia was holding his jacket, swatting at the bugs trying to bite him, the corpse beetles trying to crawl over. He was startled by the person falling down. Wu Xia turned and saw a very familiar-looking fatty, the one who scared them in the tomb earlier. After Zhang Qilin left, he and his third uncle decided to split up, to explore the side chambers. But when he came out after exploring, he found the tomb chamber empty. He was all alone. Well, that's not entirely accurate. There was still a reanimated corpse. Wu Xia was completely stunned. Then he fled the tomb without looking back. He wandered through the maze-like tunnels for ages. Then he stepped on something, and suddenly the ground gave way. Thinking he had no other choice, Wu Xia started checking his surroundings. This place was quite spacious. The walls were covered in dents, holes of various sizes, leading to who knows where. Beside him was a foreigner's corpse, chewed to bits. The body had no warmth, but it was still soft to the touch. Wu Xia guessed the person hadn't been dead long. He found a working flashlight on the body, a string of numbers he didn't understand, and a simple hand-drawn map. This map must have been the area the foreigners explored. He even saw the tomb with the 7-star coffin. It was as if they had planned it. Just after he finished exploring, he heard a rustling sound. Then came a swarm of corpse beetles. Crawling out of the holes lie a nest. The scene would scare anyone with trypophobia to death. Wu Xia finally understood why the foreigner died so miserably. His abdomen was hollowed out, his flesh torn, not a single piece of good meat left, all eaten by these bugs. Just when Wu Xia thought he'd meet the same fate from the place he fell earlier, another fatty fell down. The good news is, that fatty attracted most of the bugs' attention. He could lie a little longer. The bad news is they were stuck. They might both be eaten by bugs here. Hey, bugs are afraid of fire. Try fire. Wang Panzi shouted while being bitten. He yelled at Wu Xia. You think I didn't think of that? I don't smoke. Where would I get a lighter? Wu Xia was on the verge of tears, regretting why he didn't take his third uncle's lighter. But money can't buy foresight. If I'd known, I'd have a fire starter. Wang Panzi grinned. A lighter is easier than a fire starter. He originally wanted Wu Xia to use a lighter. Didn't expect he'd have to make the fire himself. He quickly fumbled to take out the fire starter, enduring the bites of the bugs, carefully blowing it into a flame. Quick, quick, light the clothes. After the clothes were set on fire, he waved the flame around. The bugs around them were indeed afraid. They stayed back and didn't dare approach. This won't last. Once the clothes burn out, they'll swarm us again. We have to find a way up. It's too high. We can't get up. If you lift me up, I'll pull you up. Okay? Who knows if you'll run away once you're up? We're brothers who've been through life and death. If we die together. Wu Xia almost vomited blood at his words. Who's your brother? Who wants to be your brother? What a terrible stroke of luck. Little third master. A familiar voice called out. Wu Xia turned around in surprise and saw Pansy pointing a gun at him. His heart skipped a beat. Before Wu Xia could process it, a bullet whistled past his ear, hitting the wall behind him. Hidden by the swarm of small beetles, a large beetle was about to ambush him. Wu Xia let out a heavy sigh of relief and quickly signaled Pansy to move over. Wu Xia was pulled up by Pansy, but they had trouble pulling Pansy up. First, Pansy was too heavy. They couldn't pull him up easily. Second, the fabric was all burned out. The bugs were all gathering. Pansy was moving around. It was hard to grab him. Pansy wanted to endure it. At most, he'd get a few bites. Once he was up, he'd be fried. But the bugs didn't play by the rules. They crawled into his pant leg, trying to bite his precious. That won't do. If he waited until he was up to deal with it, who knows if it would still be usable. His family line depended on that. Seeing the bugs swarming over, eyeing his fat, he got desperate. Pansy grew more and more anxious. Suddenly he remembered why he fell, and shouted to the top, hoping for a miracle. Big Bot, are you there? Help me. A faint click sound. Someone else fell down from above. And this time, the bugs didn't swarm him at all. Instead, they froze in place, as if they had seen their natural predator, and fled in a panic. Zhang Qilin landed in a CU pose, with the bugs lining up one by one, and retreating in an orderly fashion, leaving the other three stunned, especially Pansy and Wu Xia, who had been attacked. Voice-activated summoning? Wu Xia muttered subconsciously, but when Zhang Qilin's eyes swept over, he immediately shut his mouth. No, why? Pansy couldn't understand the bugs' opposite reactions. He couldn't help but ask, but after being with him for a while, he knew Qilin wouldn't answer his boring questions, so he comforted himself. It's fine, he's an expert. How can he be an expert if he isn't special? After comforting himself, Pansy couldn't keep talking. Wait, this isn't scientific. Is he some kind of bug-repellent spirit? That last part, Pansy muttered under his breath, except for Qilin, who had sharp hearing. No one else heard him. Little brother, you're Oku. Little brother, you're safe. You don't know. I wasn't paying attention and got separated from third uncle. As soon as Wu Xia saw Zhang Qilin, it was like seeing a relative. He started rambling on, eager to see his experience. Pansy, standing next to him, looked confused. He didn't understand why Wu Xia wasn't talking to him, but to Zhang Qilin, whom he just met. He opened his mouth, but remembered third master said to let Wu Xia be with him, so he kept his mouth shut. Zhang Qilin came to Pansy and locked eyes with him. Pansy, relying on his years of reading people, felt he somehow understood something from Qilin's face. He mimed zipping his lips. With a gesture of his fingers, Pansy pressed his lips together and nodded gently, signaling he wouldn't tell anyone about the trap. It would ruin the expert's reputation. He knew the expert came down because he knew they were here. That's why he came to meet up. Pansy really wanted to complain. Kicking him down was fine, but he wanted to ask Zhang Qilin, could he be a bit faster next time? If he were any later, his fat would be gone. But since his life was in their hands, he kept his mouth shut for now. Zhang Qilin saw he didn't get his meaning, but didn't say much. He grabbed Pansy by the collar and tossed him up. The two above quickly caught him. Then Zhang Qilin moved with grace, didn't need anyone's help, and flipped up instantly. There was no other danger. The bugs didn't dare come back. They weren't in a hurry to leave. Pansy introduced himself to the others. Relying on his excellent social skills, he successfully integrated into Wu Xia's team and gained the trust and friendship of everyone except Pansy, Wu Sansheng, and Zhang Qilin. Zhang Qilin noticed Pansy had a wound and used 2 fingers to pluck the beetle out. He took it out. Wu Xia quickly bandaged the wound. Pansy was saved from disaster. However, Pansy wanted to lead the way, but because he was injured, Wu Xia insisted on helping him walk. Zhang Qilin, who was guarding the rear, suddenly took the lead. Wu Xia and Pansy didn't know where to go, so Zhang Qilin naturally became the leader. They wandered around for a long time. Pansy, being observant, noticed Zhang Qilin was leading them in circles. Pansy was confused. He remembered Qilin was good at navigation. Why were they going in circles? Just when they were getting impatient, there was a different sound ahead. They met Wu Sansheng, who was carrying a bag. Only then did the others realize Zhang Qilin was actually trying to lead them. They just couldn't understand why he was following the lost Wu Sansheng. Instead of just going ahead and blocking him, they were full of questions. Little did they know, Wu Sansheng was doing this on purpose, to shake off Zhang Qilin, so he could do something else. But despite all his efforts, he couldn't get rid of him. Zhang Qilin could catch up quickly, but to look after the 3 dragging behind, he had to stay back and follow slowly. Wu Sansheng was full of bitterness. His smile was stiff and unnatural, but he had to pretend to be surprised and happy about the reunion. My nephew. Finally found you. You're safe. That's great. Third uncle. Where did you go earlier? Why did you all disappear when I turned around? Pansy said you stepped on a trap and fell onto another path. Wu Sansheng's mouth twitched with his nephew's intelligence. He didn't even need to coordinate his lies. He felt that planning with Pansy and Dakue was pointless. Was Wu Xia's phrasing just a coincidence? Actually, Wu Xia wasn't stupid. He didn't just blurt everything out, giving away information to others. He just felt he didn't need to hide anything from his uncle or the people he was close to. He couldn't help but talk more. You must be the famous third master of the Wu family. I've heard so much about you. Pansy saw Wu Sansheng's unnatural expression. He didn't look happy to see them. He pulled his new friend aside and stepped forward to shake Wu Sansheng's hand, greeting him with a big smile. As the saying goes, don't hit a smiling face. Plus, now wasn't the time to show his emotions. Seeing Pansy and his nephew getting along, Wu Sansheng had to smile back, putting on a friendly face. Hello, I'm Pansy's reputation couldn't compare to third master's. I'm just a little famous in Panjiayuan. Hello, they exchanged pleasantries. Even Wu Xia couldn't get a word in. He felt a bit depressed, so he looked for someone else to bother. Zhang Qilin looked at him silently and pulled his hood down further. I say, third master, little third master, should we get going? Pansy, who had been forgotten, spoke up. Of course. Wu Sansheng looked at Zhang Qilin with a fake smile. I see Zhang is very familiar with this place. Why don't you lead the way? Then he could take advantage of Qilin leading and slip away unnoticed. Wu Sansheng's mind was racing with schemes. Zhang Qilin looked at him with dark, emotionless lustrous eyes, seeming to see right through his plans. Wu Sanqing felt a chill down his spine, but he kept his smile intact, and nodded slowly. Zhang Qilin walked in front of Wu Sanqing. Wu Xia followed him closely. Noticing Wu Sanqing didn't follow immediately, Zhang Qilin stopped, and looked back at Wu Sanqing, signaling him to follow. Panzi, who was next to Wu Sanqing, pushed Wu Sanqing toward Zhang Qilin. Wu Sanqing tried to decline. No, I need to help Pansy. You guys go ahead. I'll just bring up the rear. No need, I'm already friends with Pansy. I'll help him. Ignoring Wu Sanqing's protests, he walked to the back and helped Pansy walk forward. Wu Xia suddenly remembered leaving Pansy behind to follow little brother. Feeling a wave of guilt, he also ran over to help Pansy, asking how he was doing. Pansy was unaccustomed to being supported by both, and looked at Wu Sanqing for help. Wu Sanqing pretended not to see, and walked beside Zhang Qilin, walking side by side in groups of 3. Wu Sanqing and Zhang Qilin whisper ahead. Didn't I hire you to protect Wu Xia? Why stare at me? Wu Xia is worried. Your job is to protect Wu Xia. Don't focus on anything else. Wu Xia wants to find you. You don't have to indulge him so much. My requirements are simple. Just keep him in one piece until we leave. Wu Xia is determined to find you. You have other reasons for being here, right? Don't you want the ghost seal? You go find your things. I'll handle my own business. How about we stay out of each other's way? Talking to Wu Xia is useless. Wu Sanqing's expression darkens. He falls into a gloomy mood. But what he doesn't know is, while he wasn't looking, Zhang Qilin smirked, not hiding it